KO podcast family. Today we are here with Octavio Seguera. Octavio, how are you, my man? And we have a lot to talk about today. So, are you ready for this?
Of course I'm ready, Kevin. How's it going? Thank you for having me.
Yeah, let's hit the intro, everybody. Once again, I'm Kevin from the KO podcast, and here we have Octavio Seguera. Octavio, first topic here is the Miami Heat versus the Boston Celtics. We saw one heck of a game, especially game one and game two. Let's talk a little bit about both games. Game one, Bam Adebayo with probably the best playoff block in NBA history, the best block in the playoffs, NBA history. And then game two, Miami was down like 14 or 17 going into the fourth. And we come back and we win again. What are your thoughts on game one and game two?
Game one was my favorite by far. I get the hype, and I understand why people are so excited about Bam Adebayo's blocked, and probably I mean, even Magic Johnson said it was the best block in playoff history. I would only pull it behind LeBron James's block against Iguodala because it was the game 7 on the NBA Finals, and this was just game 1, and I mean the context was a little bit different. But as a play, also LeBron James has a pretty decent block against Thiago Splitter back in the 2013 final. So, but yeah, of course, it has to be top 3, maybe the best block in Miami Heat's history in the playoffs. Maybe, why not? I mean, it should be. But that game, I always, and I said it on Twitter, I go with Jimmy Butler. Without that three-pointer from Jimmy Butler in the fourth quarter, there will be no OT. And then the 3-point play in the OT, that was as important as it was the block from Adebayo. So I mean, you got to look at the game as a whole and not just concentrated in one particular play. Although yes, okay, Jason Tatum couldn't just tie the game there, but I mean, still it was going to be Miami Heat's ball, and that is because all the opportunities Jimmy Butler has provided during the fourth quarter, especially in game 1. Game 2, I would have to highlight Goran Dragic. I mean, that triple, and everybody's, and I get it. I mean, it's new, it's exciting, and everybody's is highlighting the kid. Abrazo Javier. Everybody is excited with this kid, Duncan Robinson, which of course he's a great player, he's a sniper. Yeah, of course he is. He's natural. He has a specific role there, and it's to shoot the ball. I mean, he's not gonna beat you by dribbling. He's not gonna beat you by dunking. He's not gonna beat you by passing. He's gonna beat you by shooting the ball, and that's what he does, and he's very good at it. However, the endurance and stamina and the mental strength from Goran Dragic is something remarkable. It's remarkable. In the fourth quarter, he was the man among boys, honestly, and he's veteran, and the chemistry that he has with Jimmy Butler is really special. You can see that outside the court, or in this case in the bubble. But yeah, definitely, and it has translate that chemistry outside the game. It has translate into the game, so that's why you see Miami Heat pretty much dominating the series.
Yeah, I completely agree with you. I mean, we saw game 1. Miami was down in both fourth quarters, entering the fourth quarter. So this team, like Jimmy Butler said in the post-game interview right after the game, he likes being down in the fourth quarter by double digits to come back and win that game. And Goran Dragic sealed that game yesterday with the 3-pointer. And then bam, this team, honestly, because Boston's frustrated right now. We saw what happened after the game with Marcus Smart and Jaylen Brown. They're frustrated, and they're going to start playing desperate basketball because they need a win. If they don't win the next game, that's game.
That's game. I mean,
the series is over. There's no way they're coming back from that.
Even though people are saying the series is over now, I will still have. Well, at the beginning, we even with friends of ours that we have in common, they were saying, "Well, Miami Heat in 7, Miami Heat in 6." I'll say Heat in 5. Honestly,
I was saying Heat in 7. I was saying Heat in 7 against the Bucks. And they proved us wrong.
Yeah, I can send you my on a screenshot of my tweet. I said Heat in 5 because I was so confident in this team, and I'm still am. The only team that I can really, and I'm not gonna lie, it's not because LeBron James is my favorite player, but maybe with the Lakers, I will having a hard time predicting that finals. But anyway, that's not. Let's not get ahead of ourselves. But I'm very confident in Miami Heat. There's no Eastern Conference team that can defend as well as Miami is defending right now. And that's something that's been like the staple since Eric Spoelstra took over. And I was not a fan of Eric Spoelstra, to be honest with you. During the big 3 years, I always thought that his job was secondary. I always thought that that team won because of the talent they had. But he proved me wrong. He proved me wrong in the 2013 finals when he beat a Hall of Famer coach as Greg Popovich, and he beat him. He beat him by strategies. He beat him by playing the game smarter. And he has proved me wrong ever since then. So yeah, that's a staple of Miami Heat is playing good defense. Everybody says, "Well, Pat Riley always says that defense wins championships." Well, it's not only that he says it; he implements that into the coaching staff, and the coaching staff translate that into the players. So it's part of the Heat culture. That's the Heat culture. Even Goran Dragic can tell you, because when he came his first year, one of the things he was most excited was the fact that he was going to play in defense, and he loved to play defense. That's what they do. Jimmy Butler is a different player from Philadelphia last year. He's a different player from Chicago, the Chicago years. He's a different player, and it's why, because you see the system, you see a different philosophy in the Miami Heat, and it's paying off. It's really paying off.
Yeah, Every player that enters the Heat culture comes out different. Let's be honest. Jimmy Butler, I mean, supposedly there were problems between Brett Brown and this coach. He hasn't had a single problem or an issue since entering this, because this to me is the perfect fit for Jimmy Butler. Yeah. I don't think there was like another fit for him, honestly.
And you know what? And let's not overlook the fact that they got Andre Iguodala. He might not be playing the whole time, but guess what? He's talking in that clubhouse. He's talking in that dressing room. He's talking there in the practice. That's the voice you want to listen. That guy won 3 championships with the Golden State Warriors, and he won the MVP defending LeBron James. He's a great asset.
Yeah, for sure.
Team. He's a great asset, and he's not been playing. But his leadership, he has nothing to prove, but he has a lot to teach, and that's something very important right now. I think that's the reason why Miami went for him and got him. That's about it.
And we can't forget about Jay Crowder either, which was also included in that trade. He's been shooting very good.
He's shooting the ball. Actually, I will say that I was a little bit disappointed of Olynyk, but whatever disappointment Olynyk has cost to me, I think it has been compensated by the contribution of definitely him. And not only Crowder has been shooting the ball well, he's been a little bit smarter in terms of guarding. Like, he's not committing those fouls that used to hurt him during the regular season. So I think he's playing safer. I'm sorry. And it's part of improvement. And I think, like I said, he in 5, because again, there's no team in the Eastern Conference better than Miami Heat. There's just not.
I completely agree with you. And then we go to the Western Conference tonight. We have the Nuggets versus the Lakers. Nuggets have came back 3-1 twice in this playoff series. Who do you have in this series? I have the Lakers. I'm just going to say that right now. I mean, if the Nuggets at this point come back 3-1, I have no idea what to say.
Yeah, I mean, no. And I prefer
this team's going to win it. That's all I can say.
No, and I prefer to say sorry later, but I'm not going to go and jump into the bandwagon of the Denver Nuggets right now. I mean, I think the Lakers are going to win the series. I said at the beginning, well, not the beginning of the season, but before the whole pandemic happened, I remember talking to a friend of ours that we have in common, and I told her, hey, dude, this is going to be a beach final. You're going to have South Beach, and then you're going to have Santa Monica Beach, because it's going to be the Lakers against Miami Heat. Of course, people thought that with Giannis playing the East, by the way, I mean, won the MVP. Okay. Yeah. A little bit surprised, but well deserved. Surprised because I mean, you might defer probably
that playoff series.
Yeah, exactly. But that's another thing. But again, and if you remember that game in Miami, down in Miami, I don't know, and you can help me with this. I don't know if that was the only game they played, Lakers and the Heat during the regular season, but that game in Miami was amazing. The Lakers were winning the game for like 10, and then Miami came all the way back, and the Lakers won just by sweating the,
that was a great game. Wow.
That was a great game.
I remember it.
And if we're going to have that type of final, man, sign me up, because it's going to be really exciting.
That was about to be my next question. What matchups would you like to see? If I'm being a biased Heat fan here, I'd love to see them going against the Nuggets, so we have a better chance of winning. But if we're being honest here, it's going to be Lakers versus Heat at this point.
Yeah, and in that series, the key will be not just LeBron James in the offensive standpoint, but also defensive, because LeBron has this. I mean, LeBron has this thing, and then he switch it up, and then he identify who's the best player in the opposing team. He did it when he was playing in Miami. Remember that series against the Chicago Bulls? Chicago won the first game by, I don't know, 15 points, whatever.
Mhm.
And LeBron said, okay, I'm going to guard him the next game. And that was about it. Derrick Rose came like down. It was no more Derrick MVP Rose. It was no more shape of that. He came and he disrupted the whole offensive scheme from Chicago. Same thing happened in the 2012 against Oklahoma. He said, okay, I'm going to take care of Kevin Durant. And that was it. He and not Kevin Durant. They won the first game. That was about it. Miami, he won the next four. In the 2013, it was a little bit more tricky because with San Antonio, they have the big three, and then a young Kawhi Leonard. So it was a little bit more complicated for LeBron to just identify one target because there was a lot of weapons in San Antonio. And that's why it took a little bit more, of course, and it was a team effort. So I think Jimmy Butler is going to have problems facing LeBron James.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
For Miami, the key will be the shooters. Definitely Robinson.
I said that for Boston. I'm going to say it again.
Yeah. And that will be the key for Miami because you will have to force guys like Kuzma, guys like Caruso, and maybe Danny Green to play defense, which is not the best of what they can do. And I mean, let's just face it, Miami can also guard. There's nobody who can guard Anthony Davis. I mean, that's about it. Because this is the thing. You have Adebayo guarding him on the post, but Adebayo is going to fight Dwight Howard or maybe another center. However, but then you move Anthony Davis to number 4, and that's when you're gonna start to have problems because So okay, you got Jimmy Butler there, or do you have Adebayo? Or you have Derrick Jones. By the way, I don't know how's Derrick Jones doing after the injury. I don't know if he's 100%.
He's playing, but not 100%.
Okay, well, that's the thing. So you don't know that you don't have an answer for Anthony Davis. You might have an answer for LeBron because LeBron. I mean, Jimmy Butler could do a good job. And if LeBron turns out to be the point guard in that series, well, Goran Dragic is going to defend him really well.
Yeah.
So you might have an answer for LeBron, but I don't see Miami having an answer for Anthony Davis. And let's just say, man, because this is playing fair and square here, Denver's can win the Western Conference.
Denver can win, yeah.
And if this happens, the same problem for Miami will be with Jokic, but not with Jamal Murray, not with Paul Millsap, and not with those guys because they know how to guard them. With Jokic, it's different because Jokic is so unpredictable. You don't know what's he's gonna bring. And that's the problem. That's a problem for any other team.
Yeah, no, if we look at it, if Miami does go against Denver in the finals, I think Miami could win it. I think they would have the bigger chance. But now, if Miami does go against LA, I don't think Miami will win, but for sure maybe 5 or 6 games at most.
Yeah, for sure.
But hey, at least it's enough. No one expected Miami to even be in this position from the start of the season till right now.
Well, that I disagree with you because I did expect Miami to be in the finals. Not in the finals, but I did expect Miami to be in at least in the conference finals. And the reason why was because Miami was playing without pressure. And when Miami plays without pressure, without the stigma, or maybe without the label of being considered one of the best teams in the conference, they play their best. And good defensive teams will always be in the fight. And Miami has always been great defending.
Miami's a top 5 defense in the league.
It was about time. I mean, think about this. LeBron left in 2014. 2015, they made it to the semifinals. You remember that year? And they didn't make it to the finals, a conference final, because what happened with Chris Bosh.
Yeah.
And then, of course, you got a couple of years just to refocus, maybe rebuild, which Miami, honestly, they didn't go for that rebuilding.
No.
I mean, at least have a certain point, but whatever. And then they're back. Good defensive teams will always find a way back to fight. And that's what Miami Heat is doing right now.
Yeah, now I want to move on to the Miami Marlins. I'm going to show you a couple clips, and then we'll go over them. Yeah, no, I have a couple teams. The first one I want to start is with the Marlins.
What? Are you? No, Kenny.
We're going to benefit. That will benefit.
Try to be objective here, bro. Are you kidding me? Okay. Why the Marlins? Come on.
Yeah, and look, Alfred says Marlon's going to be greater sooner than everyone is
That's
expecting.
just because he wants to go. He wants to get credentials, and he wants to get Cuban coffee for free. Alfred, don't believe it, dude. They're a minor leagues team for
Let's look
crying
at this.
out. My God,
One.
my God, blindfold. Are you actually telling me that the Marlins are going to make noise in a division that they have to share with the Braves, title contender Braves, title contender Nationals, title contender Phillies? Come on, man. Okay, this is the thing. This is the thing. And I'm going to make a bet. If the Marlins make the wild card, believe me, I promise you, if the Marlins make the wild card, I'm going to buy you lunch for 1 week
Ooh.
to you and Alfred. Because Alfred, Mr. Yankee man, apparently now is more Marlins guy. I mean, he wants to be the next Mr. Marlin. So you, Mr. Marlin, Alfred, man, I need to shave. I need to shave for sure.
Now we look at those clips, and the Miami Marlins are in the playoffs. Not in the wild card like the bet was said, but even higher than that. They're in second place, about to probably make the playoffs, and these games are crucial for them. What can you say about the Marlins as of right now?
As of right now, we'll tell you the same thing. Miami, it's been a surprise. Of course, it's been a surprise. Um, uh, they have benefit for this new playoff format, of course. And I just don't. I think they're going to collapse. I just don't see them going forward. I just don't have it. I mean, we were talking about Miami Heat before, and you know what they do, what they play. Maybe they're inspired. Maybe they want to make a difference. You know what I do give Miami credit for is the resiliency of overcoming what happened with
Oh yeah,
the 18 players. And I said it when that happened. I said, hey, let's put all jokes aside and let's just like concentrate on the strength and the endurance and the character that this team have had with all this situation that happened. So, all right, saying that, I will say it again. I will say it. If the Miami Marlins make the playoff, you just pick your menu, bro. Just pick your menu, and I will. We can use social media, and I will send you the gift cards, whatever. But like I said, I don't see it. I mean, honestly, so they're fighting over with the Phillies. I don't think the Mets are
yeah.
gonna. I don't think the Mets are gonna make it.
The Mets are out. The Mets are out, I think.
Yeah, no, I mean that's not even a possibility. The Nationals, if their Mets are out, the Nationals are even more out than that.
Yeah, they're done, I think too.
So they're done. My question will be, if you don't beat the Phillies in this case, so would you have to look at the West Division, and then you'll see what Colorado, and then who else is there? The Central teams. I have to check on the standings, but
Yeah,
honestly, what I will say is Miami needs to get the number 2 spot because fighting for the wild card, well, that's gonna be to start preparing the lunches. Yeah, I will do. I definitely will do. I'm a man of my word. I don't believe in the Marlins. I mean, I've never been a fan of the Marlins, and Kevin knows that. It's not about being fan. It's not about that. It's just that I never believed in the team. I don't think they were in the spot to make the playoffs. So, but this is a good thing about sports. I mean, prove me wrong, and they have proven me wrong so far.
no, if I'm being honest with you here,
I have to stick with what I said. I'm not going to change because I mean that would be just dishonest.
if I'm being honest with you, they're not going to go past this first round. If I'm being honest, it's just enough they're going to make it to me. But hey, if they do play good, depending the team right now that they are going to play, and they actually make it to the second round, that's more than enough for them. They're going to expect the first round out.
What they're doing right now, it's already more. I mean, no. What they're doing right now, is more.
Oh yeah, for sure.
What they're doing right now, it's more. I mean, they're actually trailing now to the Nationals, and these are the type of game that they can lose. These are the type of game you can't lose if you're the Marlins. These are the type of games because I believe today was Sixto Sanchez Day. I mean,
the first game he was not too good today.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So, so they have a doubleheader tonight.
Yeah, they have another one now.
Oh, okay, perfect. So so they're playing 7 games. This one they're trailing right now. They're playing 7 games. So okay, so this is my point. If they make it to the playoffs, they will be facing who? The Padres or the Giants?
Well, right now they're in the fifth seed. I'll pull it up for
Exactly.
a second for you.
Oh yeah, let's see that. Let's see it.
Yeah. So right now, the Marlins, as of right now, they are the fifth seed. The fifth seed, yes. The Dodgers are first, Cubs are 2nd,
Mhm.
Braves third, Padres fourth, Marlins
So
fifth.
they're playing the Padres.
Okay, so yeah, that's gonna be over.
Yeah,
That's gonna be it. Yeah,
that,
that's
that,
probably a 2 game loss right there.
yeah, that's really tough. Even though they're playing a bubble and the Marlins play good when they're on the road.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, facing Chris Paddock and that heavy loaded lineup.
And you're playing in Petco Park, which is not a batter friendly park.
Yeah, well, no, because they will playing in Texas. Remember that the National League teams will go to Texas.
Oh, because they have to buy.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
No, because that's why they're switching. So the American League teams will play in LA, and the National League teams will play in Texas. So I don't know if they're gonna play. I don't know if they're gonna play in Minute Maid Park, the Astros, or the global one, the new one
The
from
new
the
one.
Rangers. I'm not so sure where, but yeah, the National League teams are playing in Texas, and the American League team will play in California.
Okay, so I mean, depends what park, honestly, and
Yeah.
it depends. So supposedly, as of right now, Sixto Sanchez is in line to be the game one pitcher, which I doubt it's gonna happen.
Yeah.
It would most likely be Alcantara, but
But
besides that, we'll see.
what about Pablo?
I mean, Pablo Lopez has been good, but probably like a game two. I don't see him as the number
Starter,
one.
number one.
Yeah,
Yeah. Sandy has been great. Sandy has
he's
been
been great.
Yeah, and he also for I mean Miami, not this team, not this core of a team have had a great moments, like moments of pressure, right? So this will
Yeah,
be the first time for these kids to face those kind of moments. So it'll be interesting to see how well can they respond to the pressure of playing a Padres team that also, hey, the Padres they haven't been in the playoffs in a while too. So
yeah, it's a huge drop. So two teams that have been in a drought for a long, long time.
yeah. And they both pretty young because the Padres is basically because of the youth. That's what they're doing there. That's because they have a phenom like Tatis or Tatis.
Yeah,
and well, for Manny Machado is still young with a lot of experience. Eric Hosmer won a World Series, so they have a little bit more of experienced players, but they're still very young. That's
yeah, for sure. Yeah. And who have been your surprise teams right now in the playoffs that are currently in that playoff spot?
Well,
American League and National League.
Well, the American League, I'm sorry, the National League, I have to agree with you with the Marlins because they have surprised the whole world.
Can we say the Giants too?
Say who?
The Giants.
Yeah, definitely. No, and especially a former Marlin, Donovan Solano, who's, I mean, he's hitting really well. He's in number 3 spot for competing for the batting title. So that's amazing. That's amazing. And with the Giants, I was surprised when they let go Pablo Sandoval, but I understand that this is a new generation. This is a new team. So, man, it's good. It's good. They're doing things right way. Definitely. And this is like something I did not see happening. I did not see happen in the American League. Chicago White Sox.
Oh, me too.
Being like what the first team in the American League to
they're first right now. Yeah.
No, but they also won the first team in the American League to clinch.
Yeah.
They did it a day before the race.
Yep.
That I did not see coming. Honestly, I mean, you can tell me about Keuchel, Jimenez, Grandal.
Well, they have a good team.
Yeah, they have a great team, but I did not see that coming. And
I don't think anyone did, honestly.
No, and
Jose wild card is what we saw.
Yeah. And Jose Abreu having an MVP year. I mean, he's great, but he's been greater this year. So that's really unbelievable. And the pitching staff, it's not that it has been the best, but Giolito and Keuchel and Cease, they've been able to get the job done. So I think that's been surprising. I thought Minnesota will win the division by far. I knew the Indians will struggle, but I thought the Indians will be number 2, and then Chicago will be number 3. But I never seen Chicago winning the division, and which I think that's going to happen because they have a really, really comfortable lead in the division. I'm sorry, 3 games as of now, and they've been playing good against the Indians and against the Twins, which is basically what you have to do.
Yeah, and all other teams I have right now are the Blue Jays. Because, they've been good, but I don't think anyone expected them to be in a divisional spot to not play in the first round. And, I mean, I have the Marlins, of course. Maybe we could see the Phillies because they were in 4th place last year, didn't make it. So now maybe it was expected that they wouldn't have made it.
Yeah.
That's about it. Yeah, and then of course the Marlins.
Yeah.
What teams in the playoffs are you surprised that are not in the playoffs? Are you surprised that didn't make it?
Um. Maybe the Washington Nationals. That's have to be one of them. Milwaukee Brewers to me has been disappointed. Um. And in the West, I have to say Arizona, especially
Oh,
after they got Matt Bomb. I was expecting more. I didn't see them being last in their division. I thought that they would do a little bit better. So yeah, I mean, but if you think about Arizona is playing 19-32, so there's like a worst, probably one of the worst season for them in a short period of
yeah.
time. I thought Arizona will be competing for one of the wild cards, as the same case with the Milwaukee Brewers. So yes, those are my two teams in the National League. In the American League, I don't have anything because I knew what to expect from Boston. I knew that Boston will not they were not going to be well this year.
No, they weren't. They
Yeah,
weren't.
they weren't. They were not supposed to. Actually, I think Baltimore has been a pretty pleasing surprise. I didn't
Yeah.
expect anything. I didn't expect anything from the Mariners, nor the Tigers, nor the Rangers. And I never, at least for the next 6 years, I will not going to expect anything from the Angels. I said it before. Mike Trout signed that contract, and half of the contract will be without playoffs. He's going to play half of his contract without playing in the playoffs. That's just about it. They don't have pitching staff. They don't have anything else. They just have Mike Trout, probably the last light or maybe bright, if you want to put it in an elegant way, um, from Albert Pujols, but that's about it. Shohei
Yeah.
Ohtani, I mean, yes, he could do both things, and he could have good games, but no. And it's that division with the Astros and the Oakland A's, no way. There's no way. Oakland, that's a great team, and
Yeah.
the Mariners are playing better than the Angels, so the Angels are out again, and they're going to be out for a long time. They don't have resources, to be honest with you.
Well, the teams that were a disappointing team were the Rangers and the Angels. I say the Rangers because at the start of the year, it looked like a good team. You had Corey Kluber, Lance Lynn,
Yeah, sure.
Mike Minor, and
Sure.
then you had Joey Gallo and a
Yeah,
couple other players of Elvis Andrew and Rougned Odor. You said this team might actually compete for a wild card spot,
yeah, that's true.
and it's been absolutely just downhill from there.
Yeah, it's been downhill.
And then I had the Angels because of Mike Trout, the Anthony Rendon signing. You brought in a guy with Julio Theron who's been horrible for them. There's no other way you could say it. I think he shouldn't even be on the MLB
Yep,
right now.
yep. I
You have
totally.
Shohei Ohtani, who I thought could have been a good player too.
And kudos to you, Kevin, because I completely forgot about Rendon. And but the thing is that Rendon hasn't been the same player that he was in Washington, and
He
that's
should have
okay.
stayed in Washington.
Yeah, and that's okay because it's the first year, so you can give him the benefit of the doubt. But again, Mike Trout has been playing since 2012, and he's only been in the playoff once, and
He
that's
has.
yeah. They were swept by the Kansas City Royals in 2014.
There
And
you go.
actually, I believe he had 11 at bats, and he struck like 10 times out of those 11 at bats, or 12 at bats, and he struck out 11 times. So he hit it horrible. He did really bad in the playoffs. So
Wow.
and that's bad because you and I both know that he's the best player in the game. But
Oh,
hey,
for sure.
if he's not in the playoffs, he's not gonna get that spotlight. And I believe he's another contender for the MVP this year. Of course, you gotta go to the sabermetric stats and analytics and all that stuff, and you go OPS and you go, I don't know, any other stats, and you will find numbers that can back up the case for him as an MVP. But yeah, you can get 14 MVPs, but 0 World Series. That's what I think about Mike Trout. It kind of reminds me in a different era of Andrew Dawson, or maybe Ken Griffin Jr. When at least Ken Griffin went to the playoffs a couple times, and they were good. They had good runs, but not playing the big game, not playing the big series, and that's something that I think will haunt Mike
Yeah.
Trout as long as he stays there, which I think he's going to stay there for a long time.
Yeah, if I was him, I would have left, honestly, because if you know that team has not made the playoffs pretty much at all, only once, like you just mentioned, just leave, man. Like, go try to win a World Series ring. I know you're trying to be loyal now, but like, if you really want to win, go out there to a team like the Phillies. That was a rumor since I think he owns part of the Eagles or something. So yeah. Now I want to hear your World Series predictions.
Well, World Series predictions. I'm biased. I'm gonna go with the Yankees. I'm gonna go with the Yankees in the American League, and the only reason is because of what we've seen in the past couple days. Uh, let's just put this into perspective. It's not just that they hit 19 home runs in 3 days. It's not just the fact that they hit 5 home runs in one inning. Not just the fact that they hit 6 home runs in back-to-back games. It's the fact that they're healthy, or at
Oh
least
yeah.
they're apparently to be they're apparent to be healthy now. If you think about a great lineup from first to nine, this is about it. This is about it. This is as good as it gets. You have power, you have speed, you have contact, you have pretty much everything. If they're healthy. Add to that the fact that Garrett Cole is with them now. Add to that the Masahiro Tanaka. It's a great postseason pitcher. And if they tweak the bullpen a little bit, because that's the problem, the bullpen with Ottavino and Chad Green, if they can fix that with Bredum and Chapman, Warren, Loaiziga, all those guys, they're in a pretty good shape to make it to the World Series. Honestly, as long as they're healthy, they're going to be my candidate for the in the American League. In the National League, it was crazy, but at the beginning of the year, I had the Reds. I had the Cincinnati Reds. I thought, man, they were going to do great because look about that. I mean, that pitching rotation with Castillo, Bauer, and Gray, I was like, wow. And then you had the power of Votto, Suarez, Castellanos, and they're making the playoff because I believe that they're in the
Yeah,
second.
they just made the playoff spot.
Yeah,
Sixth.
exactly. So, all right. So, like, they're gonna be there. So, but no, I have to go in the National League with the Dodgers. Just because, like I said, it's about having a great lineup. It's about having players clicking in the right moment. And I think the Yankees, even though they're not first in their division, but they're start to clicking right now. And I think the Dodgers have been clicking since day one.
Yeah,
And they got Justin Turner back, which of course he's part of
huge.
yeah, he's one of the anchors of that team. So yeah, and they have a great pitching staff with Walker Buehler, Clayton Kershaw, of course, and then you have a great bullpen there, led by Pedro Baez and Kenley Jensen, of course. So versatility, a variety of talent, and yeah. And if I can mention one team, but my World Series prediction will be Yankees and Dodgers. But if I can mention one team that could be a surprising team, it'll be in the American League, a team that will dethrone the Yankees from my projection. It'll have to be the Minnesota Twins. I just think that they could be a surprising team
Okay.
during the playoffs, but definitely Yankees and Dodgers.
Okay, so my first one is Tampa versus the Padres.
That's a good choice. Tampa, that's a great choice.
Tampa was one away from it, and they made improvements. I mean,
Yeah,
you see this pitching staff.
Yeah.
Charlie Morton improved.
yeah.
Tyler Glasnow, one of the top 10 maybe pitchers in the league, or top 15. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
And the rest of that pitching staff, you have a good first base, good infield, great outfield. A little bit surprised they traded Martinez from the Rays.
Mm.
But then on the other side, you have San Diego, young team, haven't made it in a while. You have Manny Machado with some World Series and playoff experience. You have a good young team that really wants to go out there and just play and have fun. They have a chance to do it. And then my other one is the White Sox versus the Dodgers. White Sox, it's just like you said, they're incredible. That is one heck of a team.
Yeah.
With a great pitching is incredible. Infield and outfield incredible. Coaching's good. I think this is one team that really has a chance. And then the Dodgers, what you said, that team is clicking every day. So that's what I think. Now I want to go into the NHL, and I want you to give everyone here a quick rundown of how the NHL playoffs have gone, because I have not watched a single game. I only know the Florida Panthers loss.
Bro, shame on you. This is the greatest game in the world. Shame on you. It's the greatest game in the world, the greatest postseason ever. And it only takes to watch one game and you'll be hooked. It's just about it. So, well, good things for Florida. The Tampa Bay Lightning is in the finals. They'll be chasing their second championship. They'll be facing the Dallas Stars. So Dallas and and the Tampa Bay Lightning will be playing the Stanley Cup Finals for the first time in their history. They'll be playing in the finals. The last time Tampa Bay made it to the finals was in 2015. Last time Dallas made it to the finals was in 2000. So it's been 20 years since they made it to the Stanley Cup Finals. During that run, Tampa defeated the New York Islanders, also the Boston Bruins in the first round. And now it's just about to see what's going to happen in the finals. There's a lot of animosity between the two teams, players that have come back and forth between the teams. The coaching staff used to be, the head coach of the Dallas used to coach in Tampa. So that's animosity. And starts tomorrow. Seven best of the 7 game series. Hopefully, I hope you can really watch one of the games because it's like I said, bro. It's the greatest sport in the world. I'm sorry. Everybody has their own preferences. It's fine. I respect it. I grew up covering, well, not covering, but watching it. And then in my career, I've been covering more baseball games than I can count, more soccer games than I can count. I'm thankful to God for that. But if you ask me what's my favorite sport in the world, I have to say hockey. I mean, it's just fantastic. So, it's been really entertaining. And yeah, it's great. It's about trying to watch and enjoy the game. And one thing that I always say with the hockey thing, it's not an American or a Canadian sport. There are more than 12 nations represented in these finals. I'm talking about Sweden. I'm talking about Russia. I'm talking about Finland. I'm talking about Denmark. I'm talking about Switzerland. There are like 12 countries in this series. I was just doing the media day like an hour ago, and they were speaking Finnish, they were speaking Sweden, they were speaking Russian, they were speaking all kinds of language. And it was great to see how global this game is. And Tampa is a great team to watch. Dallas is also a great team. We'll see. It starts tomorrow, and I believe the Tampa Bay will win the championship in 7 games. That's a series that I will think will go to 7 games.
Okay. And I mean, he just said it there, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed that. Now, the MLS. We're going to enter here. We're going to start with the signing that Inter Miami made today.
Yep.
Gonzalo Higuain, I think that's how you say it.
Yep.
What are your thoughts on that signing?
Well, I think it's a great signing because Higuain is one of those players that they have one run left in their career. It's not retiring. He didn't come here to retire. I believe he's going to retire back in Argentina. I believe he will go there just to call it his career. But he's a great player. He's been in World Cup finals, Copa America finals. He has scored more than 300 goals for Juventus, for Real Madrid, for Napoli, for AC Milan. So it's very, very prestigious and elastic, and it's a statement for Miami Heat. Getting this player is a statement. It's a statement of David Beckham saying, you know what, I believe that we can bring a good player that can help us out to make the playoffs, which, by the way, is super possible. Miami will be playing Atlanta this weekend. Tomorrow. And they're playing in Atlanta. And they have a chance. Atlanta hasn't played good in a while. And Miami, Miami has a chance. If Miami can win, I will say 3 to 4 games, they're in the playoffs. And then it's anybody's guess. It's like an NFL format because you will have 1 game in the playoffs. So, hey, one good game, and then you continue to run. And for Miami, that would be great. And Higuain, Matuidi, and the kids, Carranza and Pellegrini, those are great kids. And of course, Pizarro, which is still the even bigger than. Well, now with Higuain, I will put Higuain first, but then I will put Pizarro right there. And those two can score a lot of goals. If they click, which I believe they will after a couple of weeks, I think they're going to have a good offensive team.
What do you think about the goalie of this team? I forgot his last name now, but I know who he is.
Luis Robles.
Yeah, Robles.
He's a veteran of the league. He won. Well, it's not that he won it. He desired. I mean, he wanted to prove people wrong when he came to Miami or when he went to Miami. I'm still thinking that I'm in Miami. When he went to Miami, he wanted to prove to everybody that it was still good, that it's a very high level in the league, and he could still play. he's a leader, and he's a veteran with a lot of knowledge when it comes to MLS. He know how to play playoffs. He know how to play critical games. And yeah, I mean, it's easy to blame him for all the defeats and all the losses that Miami have had. But hey,
Yeah,
it's not about the goalie. It's about defense. It's about defensemen. It's about not controlling the ball in the center of the pitch. It's about not making the right passes. It's about not
yeah,
taking care of the opportunity. So it will be really unfair just to pinpoint one guy, say, hey, it's because of this guy that we haven't won a game, or it's because of this guy we're not in the playoff spot right now. I know Luis. I know that he has a lot of character, and he's gonna give you a 110% effort every time, and that's very important. And I know Coach Alonso, Diego Alonso, knows that, and the coaching staff know that, and we will see better things for him in the near future.
okay. Yeah. I mean, this team to me has been a little bit disappointing because we expected more,
Yeah,
especially when Matuidi came.
yeah.
Hopefully, we'll get the team that we're expecting from when Higuain plays. I don't know if he will play tomorrow, but
It's very unlikely because of the paperwork.
yeah,
But he's training. I
he
mean,
is. Yeah, they already put out pictures and everything.
yeah, he's training. So we'll see. We'll see. It's unlikely, not impossible. But then they were. This is the thing with this season on MLS. They were playing. They're playing on Wednesday, and now they're playing on Saturday. They're gonna be playing on Wednesday next week. So, for example, if you think about it from Miami standpoint, they're playing Atlanta. And let's just say Higuain doesn't play that game, but then you got to go to midweek because the midweek on the 23rd there are more games, and then games in the weekend. For example, in the midweek, Miami, there's 7 games. In the midweek, Miami will play Red Bulls in Miami. That's a good game for Higuain to make his debut because he will be at home. And let's see. I mean, it's anybody's guess. And they playing on Wednesday. They playing on Saturday or Sunday. So there's a lot of games in the near future for Inter Miami.
Okay. Who has been your most disappointing team in the MLS so far?
Honestly, San Jose Earthquakes because they have a coach like Matias Almeida, which he was great when he was in Mexico. He won the CONCACAF Champions League, and he has not he hasn't been able to get the best of his players the same way that he did in Mexico. These players, I don't know, maybe there's the ideology is not the same, maybe the system is not the same. They're not used to the system, or whatever might be the case. They played great in the MLS is back tournament. They made it to the quarterfinals, but in the league they've been disappointed. Also, I will have to say, LAFC, even though LAFC now they're struggling, they're number 5 in the table and the standings, but it's not the same dominant team that they were a couple of years ago, since the first year in the league. But San Jose, because they're in the last place, and Chicago Fire is also a very disappointing team. They're out of the playoffs right now. They're number 12 and 12. I don't remember correctly, but I know for sure that they're one of the last teams in the understanding. So, like I
Okay.
said, it'll be tough to see Chicago and San Jose recovering. Not the same thing I can say for Miami, because Miami now they had a good player that can help them just to recover from all of that. And as I said before, they only need to win a few games to go back to the playoff spot.
Okay. Yeah, no, my first team is maybe we could say Atlanta has been a little bit disappointed because we expected a little bit more from
Yeah,
them. It hasn't happened.
yeah,
Then my other team was Miami as of now. As of now.
yeah,
Uh,
yeah,
we expected Pizarro, who's been great. He's been really
yeah.
good. He hasn't been horrible. I expected a little bit more from Robles. He's gave up some goals that could have been blocked. And then we have some young players who, yeah, they're still adjusting, but we're expecting a lot from them. So those are my two teams. I haven't seen much more, but I
Yeah.
will. A team that has surprised me, maybe Orlando, we could say.
Yeah, yeah.
They
Well,
won. I think they won the tournament, right?
no, they were the runner up. They lost in the
Okay.
finals against Portland.
Okay.
Yeah.
Portland's like one of the best teams, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, but not in the league though. In the league, they're struggling. Even though they're 7th place right now, they're in the playoff spot, but they haven't been as good as they were in the tournament.
Okay. So now we're gonna end it with a couple questions to see if anyone has any. We're gonna go up. It will be wonderful to see Miami soccer in the playoffs for sure.
Yeah, definitely it will be, and it's possible. Like I said, a few games, and they're playing like twice a week, so it's
Yeah.
possible for them.
So now we have a question about Eric Spoelstra. Let's take a look. Un cuanto al Miami, hay que darle un aplauso también a Eric Spoelstra, gran coach. Yeah, for
Yeah,
sure. Claro.
yeah, he has proven me wrong. Like I said, I mean, since 2013 when he beat the San Antonio Spurs, coached by the great Greg Popovich. Before that, I used to call him El Dibujante. So because all he do was drawing, drawing like this, hey, drawing this, drawing this, drawing that. Turns out that you know what, it was really
That
good.
paid off.
Got paid off.
And we have a question about the Inter Miami. Inter Miami is already the most expensive team in the MLS. How many wins will they get?
Well, it's not how well I respect the question, but it's not about how many wins will they will get. It's about how many wins they will need. And that's the answer. They will get as many as they need because you need to win at least 4 games. Well, 3 to 4 games to make the playoffs, and that's for them will be more than enough right now. They have to make the playoffs because yes, I agree with PJ Cejas. I agree that they spend a lot of money on Wayne, Matuidi, Pizarro. So if you have those guys in your team, you got to make the playoffs. There's no excuse for that.
Yeah, and then we have some new comments. We're gonna look down there. Vamos a ganar este año.
Which team?
Which team?
That would be my.
If we're talking about the Inter, I hope. But if we're talking about the Marlins or any other team, just say it in the comments.
Yeah.
Now we're gonna go with a couple shout outs here, see who's watching. We're gonna start con Javier Barral, Carmen Heva, Andrew72, John McGlynn, Marileo Arral, John McGlynn again, Carlos Manuel Cejas, PJ Cejas, Carmita Merino, Manuel Manny Carvalho, hice un podcast con él el otro día.
Muy bien.
David Castiñeira, y that's it. Octavio, thank you for being on the channel, my man. And Ramon Gallardo.
Clap for El Dibujante.
Octavio, thank you for being on here again and spending some time with us here. Hope to have you again sometime.
Thank you for having me, man. See you soon.
All right, guys. Thank you for watching. Remember to like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace out.